So you got a dog or a cat that's mostly indoors, or some consider it all the time indoors, and you're wondering, do they need to be on flea and tick prevention, heartworm prevention, and all of that? Um, the short answer is yes, but it's kind of complicated. We're going to talk about a couple of the reasons why your animal should be on some sort of prevention all the time.
So one of the common misconceptions I hear all the time is, oh, it's too cold this time of year for fleas and ticks to be out. Well, I have a couple problems with that. One, ticks can live happily hunky-dory even at very low temperatures, even in the negatives. They just go kind of dormant, and then as soon as it warms up enough for them to start moving again, they're ready to go. So they're not really dying. Also, some certain breeds of ticks complete their life cycle in the winter. That's why we have so many seed ticks in the spring that you're seeing all those little babies hatch. The other big thing is our wildlife in this area, which we have tons of, the ticks, fleas, other parasites, they stay happily warm on that outside of that body and the undercoat of these animals, taking their blood meals and living like there's no problem at all. Then when they fall off and they're ready to eat something else, they jump right on your doggy that's outside taking a whiz. So it's easy for them to stay alive. Even if they get a little cold for a couple of minutes, they're jumping right on somebody else to hitch a ride and get a blood meal again. Mosquitoes are kind of the same story. Here in Missouri, we're always going to have at least a couple of days of really nice weather in the middle of winter. So like last weekend, it was 65 and sunny and absolutely amazing. Yesterday, it got up to 50 something. On those days, it's easy for mosquitoes to come back and start thinking biting me and everybody else. They love me, so I got a bite last weekend right at the beginning of the weekend. And if they're biting me, then they can definitely bite your dog or your cat. So heartworms is also a concern because that's how they're transmitted, is through mosquito bite. So saying I'm going to just give my dog its prevention during the summer, it's kind of not going to work. We recommend them being on prevention year round. If you try to do the kind of what I call pulse therapy, where you just do like 3 months here and there, the problem you have is especially with fleas, they're going to infest your carpets and your other areas, and no matter how much you vacuum or call the exterminator and everything else, you're still going to be stuck with lots of hatching larvae and eggs that are sitting around ready to jump on your animals or even you. If you stay on the prevention year-round, then you almost are guaranteed never having an infestation. You might have a couple fleas that jump on them, but they'll be dead before they complete that life cycle and cause a huge problem inside your house. Cost-wise, I think it's cheaper to be on the prevention than to try to get after it later, because if your dog or cat has a flea bite allergy or gets a tick-borne disease, or worst case scenario gets like heartworm disease, then the cost of treatment can sometimes outweigh the cost or the expense of doing the preventatives. Plus you risk having disease in your animal, which nobody wants that. And in the case of fleas, you risk having an infestation in your house, which can be really nasty, and exterminators aren't cheap either. So, I mean, having them come out a couple times, you're looking at a couple $100 right there. You could have bought the prevention easily. So, and trying to do it by yourself, let's be honest, I've seen it happen a million times. Some people are successful, but the vast majority of people can't kill off the infestation by themselves, even with repeated washings, repeated bug bombs and whatever else they do, fogging and all those other things. They just aren't going to cut the mustard, guys. So what about my indoor only cat? Is it ever going to have any problems? Let's be honest, most of our indoor-only cats have an indoor-outdoor counterpart. So either another cat that occasionally goes outside, even on the porch, that counts, or ones that spend a lot of time outside and just come in at night or things. The other problem is a lot of our indoor-only cats have a doggy friend in the house that goes outside to go pee often. So those ones technically can get the same diseases brought in by the other pets in the household. Either a dog bringing in a tick on its fur coat that doesn't die and jumps off and finds another host, or fleas doing the same thing. You have a couple that jump on, one jumps off, takes a blood meal on the cat, stays there hunky-dory and lays eggs, and then all of a sudden you end up with an infestation. Some of our reps have told us stories about houses that don't have any pets in the household and somehow end up with a flea infestation, whether it was rodents that got in, or who knows how they got in there, but they got in. So there's always a possibility. So even our indoor-only cats, we're really best off if we put a prevention on them, and that's going to help their overall health from here on out. All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Just remember, if you have any questions or if you have other topics you want me to make a video on, just leave them down in the comments and I'll try to do my best to answer any of those. Thanks, guys.